Hey, we're back. So the next question has to do with telling people that you're having surgery. And this person's question is that his wife wants to be completely open that she's having surgery with all the people that they know. And he's concerned that people are going to have some negative things to say. And he's concerned that she's going to be upset by that. And how would you handle that? And so the question sums up basically, could you talk about your experience dealing with other people's attitudes and opinions? Well, I have to say that we've been really lucky. And, my family was a little bit concerned, just like, are you sure you want to do this? And I know my grandma, she never told me anything personally, but she had told my mom, like, you need to talk some sense into that girl. She wants to have that surgery, and my mom was very supportive. So she told her, I think it's a good idea. And so internal to the family, that's the only kind of negative thing. And I didn't really even consider that totally negative. And besides that, I've only ever had one other person say something negative about surgery to me. And it was somebody I didn't even know really. But we haven't had any real issues with people being negative. I mean, if people had something to say about it, they didn't say it to my face, at least,
No, and from my perspective, the only people that now the guys I work with, they would say something. If they had anything to say, they would say something, and I kind of let it out a little bit at a time. That Tanya had weight loss surgery, and if any, I was prepared to give an explanation if they had any questions or any kind of negative statement. I was going to just state that she felt that it was the best thing for her at the time, and it's something that she had fought with, most of your life,
yeah.
and that you were confident that this was going to be something that, was going to be beneficial.
Right.
And that if that's her choice to do that, who are you to say any different? Everybody has their own choice to make,
right,
in what's best for themselves. And all we can do is make them aware of, that we had made all the
right
decisions,
And John and I are both very non-confrontational, so probably if somebody had something ugly to say, we probably wouldn't say much of anything back.
Right.
Like, okay, like if that's how you feel, but we're not the type of people that are gonna argue with somebody. So even if somebody had said something negative, it would have been like, I would have been mad.
We would have said something.
When we got home to each other, I would have bitched and moaned, or he would have bitched and moaned to me, but we probably wouldn't have told the guy or the girl who said something to us that we were mad about it. They probably never know. So, okay, I'm going to stop it and we'll do another question.
Well, hang on.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry.
I wanted to, while I was talking about the guys I work with, we had found out that a local politician had also had VSG surgery. So it helped them, because they kind of were saying, oh, he's calling whatever crude names they come up with, and I had some good information that explained it, and then they kind of
squashed that.
Yeah, let them understand what happened, and I think the last we saw on the news,
he's lost a lot of weight.
It was 60 or 70 pounds.
Yeah,
something
I think
like that.
He's like 2 or 3 months out. Yeah, and he's lost about 60-something pounds. So
right.
yeah, it's definitely getting more prevalent. So
I just wanted to add that in.
Okay, all right, we'll be back. And we're back. Okay, so the next question is, how does the surgery affect the couple's relationship? How did you handle watching your wife's body change so quickly? Could you just talk about your own experiences since the surgery? So,
to think about, the best answer was that it was pleasant. It was good to
see the changes.
To see that, and you were excited about it, definitely, and it was fun to take pictures every month.
Yeah, I always took pictures on my 1 month surgiversary, so we could track the changes, and I put that together in a montage every month, and it was good to see that.
Yeah, because on a day-to-day basis, you don't notice it as much. It's when you look back and you say, "Wow, that was a..."
Yeah, and I can remember getting like that black and white dress that I got, and it was a size too small, and saying, like, after a few weeks, John, I want to try this dress on, and you're like, you're gonna bust the zipper, and then it was like, and you zipped it up, and so that was good.
Right. That was, one of the things was being able to wear different clothes. So that kind of, and also one other way that you noticed how quickly it was, the other clothes were getting big.
Yeah, they were hanging on me.
So that kind of also was evidence of how quickly that it was changing. But always, I felt that it was good.
You liked that I could get boots.
Yeah.
What John likes knee-high boots, and I couldn't wear knee-high boots before because my calves were too big. I couldn't zip up knee-high boots, so that was a pleasant change, right?
Right. So I guess most of that, with your body changing, I guess most of it equates to clothing and things like that. But also,
so what do you think about the shopping and the spending money that I did, like spending money on clothes after? Because I had no clothes to wear. So.
Right. When I would go back and forth because we kind of don't want to spend money unnecessarily. So then you say, well, you need the clothes, especially for work.
And it was hard. Like is this the size I'm going to stay in? So did I invest in that? And I did do some thrift store shopping when I knew I was still in the middle of it. But as it gets lower, you're like, okay, is this the last size? Is this the last size? So, I'm prior to surgery, I really did not spend that much money on myself for clothes. So I'd say it was kind of about time to have a little shift where Mama spent some money on herself, right?
Right, and I haven't looked at the actual numbers, but theoretically, the grocery bill should be a lot smaller, right? No.
Faye is expensive.
That's true. You're right.
And beef, my turkey jerky is kind of expensive.
Okay, it's not.
The grocery bills. I'd say it's about the same. It's about the same.
All right. So, in terms of
spending, cheap food is fattening food.
Right.
So,
I guess to put an end to that, to have some money to spend on yourself.
Be prepared.
You're gonna feel good. You try and budget in and.
But you never gave me a hard time buying clothes.
No, and then
you were excited.
I might say if you come home with 3 different things, I might say, how much did that cost? But then on the other hand, if I'm at work and I while I'm doing overtime at work to help get me through that, I try and think about what I can spend with that money, whether it's to go on vacation or to go to a concert or something. So if I could think, all right, I'm going to make this much today in overtime, that can go to buy you something. So I would look at it like that.
Isn't that sweet? All right, we'll be back with another question. Okay, guys, this is a really good question, and I'm anxious. I don't know what John's going to say about this, but I like this question. So the person said that they have a lot of supportive people in his wife's life that are going to be there to support, and wants to know what's the most important things for all of us to know, like a do and don't list. What's the best way for us to be supportive to the VSG patient? And I'm going to let John address it, but I just wanted to say one thing. This is my biggest pet peeve. Don't ask her, can you eat that? Can you have that? Can you eat that? If she's eating it, it's because she knows she can have it. And if she gets sick of it, then she knows that she can't have it again. It is so annoying to go out to eat and people watch what you eat and to say, so you can have that? Oh, no, I can't have it. That's why I'm eating it. It's irritating. Okay, that's my 2 cents.
Even if you don't know if you can handle it or not, you want to test the waters.
Well, yeah, in the beginning, I couldn't eat baked fish. Baked fish should be the easiest thing. That's one of the first things my doctor recommended to eat when I ate solid food. And it made me sick every time for about the first 8 or 9 months. So the easy things to eat are probably the things that you shouldn't eat. So, yeah, you don't know until you experiment. Don't ask that. That's just an annoying question.
Right, and I had seen some of the videos that you had watched early on, and some people had said, well, I ate this, and I ate this, and I ate this. And even I kind of said, well, that's something you're not supposed to be eating, right? And
yeah,
but they had said that because it was easy.
Because it goes down easy.
It was easy to keep down. So you got to
slider foods.
Look at it like that.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I only have a couple of things. I don't want to get into it too much.
Oh, wait. We got visitors. Hold on. Okay, guys. We're back. We got interrupted, and it's almost a whole week later before we could sit down and finish making the video. So we were talking about do's and don'ts for friends and family who are supporters of the person who's having surgery. And so my husband has a list of do's and don'ts that he would like to address. So
it's a very short list, and you had touched on the first one before, was to not ask those kind of questions. Can you eat that?
Yeah.
So we already talked about that one. The next one that I would suggest is to be receptive about, talking about the foods you want to eat. It's a whole lot of talk about nutrition that normally I wouldn't consider, and I wasn't that interested in talking about.
But I talk about it a lot.
It helps you learn it because, with anything, the more you talk about it, the more you understand it.
Right.
And even if it's things you've already heard it, it drills it into you the more you talk about it, and it helps you. You'll talk about this recipe and that recipe, and sometimes it wasn't the most interesting thing to listen to, but I know we all talk about things that aren't interesting. So it's
and two is kind of like as the patient, you're trying to justify in your mind what. Am I doing the right thing? Am I eating the right foods? What if I ate a little more of this? What if I ate a little less of that? And so you kind of need to talk about that and process it, and it helps you get it straight in your mind. So unfortunately, you have to be the one that gets processed.
Some of the time, even the person that's not following all the kind of nutrition can come up with something, or they might see something that might not be the right food, or have an alternative that might have a different taste, or you could try a different fruit for flavoring or something like that. So so that's true. Well, that leads on to my next thing, is learn the lingo. There's a lot of acronyms, and I'm driven crazy by acronyms at work. So, but it helps.
Like what?
At the beginning, there was a lot of things that I didn't understand, but once you catch on, you feel like you can understand it. So,
but like what?
Like NSVs and different stuff like that, So if you learn a little bit of the lingo, not just the acronyms though too, but understanding why something important is good, like why protein is good. So that goes back with those two things, kind of go together. So, but I like learn the lingo. That sounds like a good phrase. So.
Yeah.
Number 3 was something that was similar to another question you had, and my thing was to allow time to exercise. I know that one of the things that's tough, even before surgery, was who does what. I call it the division of labor. Who does what around the house, and who doesn't, and who has time to get to do their own things, and who doesn't, and that can turn to resentment and bitterness and stuff like that if it goes unresolved. So the best thing is to be open and about that, and kind of understand that for me, there's no point having the surgery if you're not going to exercise. Like I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm high and mighty and everything, but
right.
But
if you're going to commit, you got to commit to the whole package.
Right. So as a support person, you want to. The most you can do is say, hey, here's some time to exercise. If it means, you got to go to the gym a lot early on.
Right.
To me, that was the pivotal time that you really needed to go, just to
establish.
To like you're saying.
Like I had to get established that I was going to do this consistently week after week, and make that, because I didn't exercise really at all before surgery, so I had to set that habit into place. So.
Right. So if it meant I have to fold clothes or wash dishes or bring the kids to their activities or even just sit home with the kids, while you went to the gym. That was something, you know.
Yeah. And that was hard for me because
Yeah.
I felt guilty leaving the kids. That was a really hard thing for me to get over. And I still kind of battle with it a little bit here and there, but not like in the beginning. But Victoria was younger then too, and she was kind of clingy and super duper attached to me. So I was afraid she was going to make me feel really guilty for leaving all the time. But it kind of has been good for her because she got to realize that I might be gone for an hour and a half, and it was okay because I was coming back home.
Right.
So.
And if I could do something like play a game or even just let them play with toys and not feel as though they're cramping my style, that I'm missing out on something. So my attitude towards that could help play a part too.
Yeah.
So that kind of led into your question about
I spent a lot of time in the gym.
You spending the time at the gym. We ended up making a change in the gym we went to after a couple of months.
It was like 4 months, I think, after.
Right, and we found a gym that has childcare, and
so we could both go.
We both went because early on, I'd say you go, and then when you come home, I'll go, and it's 9 o'clock at night, and I have to get up early. I'd say no, I'm not gonna go. I'll catch it next time. But
and you didn't really care for the gym I was going to.
No, I didn't like it there. But since we made that change, you still go more than I do, but.
You definitely go a lot more than you did before.
For sure, and I enjoy it. So,
Yeah, and I mean, you started running since we joined the new gym, and I think your fitness has improved a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I played tennis growing up, and I'm probably the fittest I've been now,
Yeah, I would agree.
So that's all I can think for my do's and don'ts.
don'ts.
Probably a lot of people out there have some other things, so, send them out and let everyone else know, all the support people out there.
Yeah. And I would just say continue to encourage, and there's going to be down times when she's going to not feel like the most successful, and just remind her how far she's come from the beginning to now, and just be there to listen, because there's a lot of talking and processing mentally that goes on, and I'm sure I talk about the whole thing, food and the emotional part and everything. I mean, you're my best friends. That's who I'm going to talk about it with. So, and I'm sure it could get annoying at times, but just try and let her talk and process, and I'm sure everything will be fine. It'll be annoying, but I'm sure she probably listens to annoying stuff that you chit chat about too, like sports and stuff that she doesn't really want to hear.
Well, to touch on, I'm scratching you. To touch on that, what you just said, I find that there's times where you might be too hard on yourself, or I'm not doing this. Yeah. So it might be something that people who, even though they're doing really well, they might not see that and not want to give themselves some credit. But I see a lot of the success stories out there, and people are doing so awesome that you got to give yourself a pat on the back. And if you're not inclined to do that for yourself, that's where your support person can come in and give a good reminder.
Yeah, open your eyes to it.
And say, don't be too hard on yourself.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think that's going to be end of series number 2. And we're going to be back next week for week 3's series. All right? Y'all have a great week. Bye.
Thank you.